wild part is that I think most people understand that could be part of it. It's like, so we know what's going on. We know what happens when you reach certain heights and you reach certain levels and you start having certain conversations, and rubbing shoulders with some guys that never thought that you would make it anywhere near their boardroom. And
what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. So a woman who alleges she was sexually assaulted by Puff Daddy has amended her lawsuit to include allegations that she was also assaulted by Jay-Z at the same party. The lawsuit was initially filed against Combs in October, but on Sunday the woman added Jay-Z as a defendant in the civil lawsuit. So Jay-Z is the first celebrity to be accused of sexual assault in connection to Puff Daddy. In a statement addressed to CNN, Jay-Z called the allegations so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whoever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? The woman, who is identified as Jen Doe, says she was 13 years old at the time she was allegedly assaulted by Jay-Z and Puff Daddy at an after party following the Video Music Awards in 2000.
Still a nasty fuck to me. Now, I think Puff is a nasty fuck too. Do I think there was maybe an agenda because of his situation with Diageo? Sure, but two things can be true. I also think Puff is a nasty fuck. Was there incentive to try to get him the fuck out of here because he wasn't playing a game with somebody? Cool, but the evidence is still there, so lock him up. Now let's treat this situation differently because it's a different case. I think there's a lot going on with Hove. Gambling is at the highest it's ever been on earth. It's clear that Roc Nation is bidding for the Caesars Palace situation in Times Square. I don't even need to really explain how big that is in the world. I could see this being part of it. He recently had a situation with, who was it? Bacardi, that didn't play out too well. And I'm not saying that is why people get accused. In this situation with those two things, I could see this ambulance chaser being funded for a smear campaign when some of the biggest companies in the world right now are being outbid by a black guy. I could see it.
I think it's all tied in, and it's it's the wild part is that I think most people understand that could be part of it. It's like, so we know what's going on. We know what happens when you reach certain heights and you reach certain levels and you start having certain conversations, and rubbing shoulders with some guys that never thought that you would make it anywhere near their boardroom, and now they're sitting there and they have to outbid you. People don't like that. So they try to, reach back in the past and find something, anything that will damage you, the perception of who you are and the legacy that you've created, just so it may kind of hinder, whatever you're trying to do on the business front. It'll turn some people away. Some people might not want to be attached to you business wise. They don't want to stand next to you anymore. It's a nasty game, man. It's a nasty game when you reach those heights. And, I just think somebody like Jay is obviously, if you listen to his music throughout the years, he knows what's coming. He's prepared for it. He understands the game that he's in now. He understands that he's not wanted in certain rooms and certain positions. I just think it's fucked up and it's unfortunate that he has to deal with this. But again, man, I'm on the side of knowing who Jay is as a person, knowing his character, knowing where his moral compass is. And, when you start talking about abusing, sexually assaulting kids, that's just not in his character at all. Yeah.
And again, I think everything is case by case basis. I fully think there's a bunch of nasty fucking people in the music industry.
Oh, for sure.
That Jay has rubbed shoulders with, clearly. Joint albums and everything. I totally get that outrage. And I think that's something that, should have been addressed at some point. I think Ho probably thought it's just been so long that addressing the R. Kelly situation would have been weird. But I do fully understand people that are at least sane and not on the crazy conspiracy side of like, there's, dead children in Beyonce and Jay-Z's basement. Yeah, I would question that as a casual fan. Like, all right, everyone knew and you did a tour with him and then Aaliyah was around. Like, I get the logic of that. It's not my place to try to explain it. It would be theirs. But I see why people want an explanation for that.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
I get why someone would be like, okay, but this was not like some rape shit, but this was weird.
I mean, but you say
R. Kelly was rape.
Right. But you say, see, that even when you say, on tour with R. Kelly, did music, it's a bunch of artists that have toured with R. Kelly. It's a bunch of musicians that toured with R. Kelly. It's a bunch of publicists. It's a bunch of fucking so none of those people are considered nasty fucks.
I agree with you.
It's just the artist that did the song with him.
And see, goes back to our conversation. I think it was at the top of this year, maybe, where we came in here and said it's tough to go through with this music industry shit, because no matter what, you're going to feel like a hypocrite. Even if I don't know what people do in their own bedrooms, you rub shoulders in this fucking demonic, and I'm not doing Illuminati shit, this demonic industry. And shit comes out and it's you're like, fuck, it doesn't make you a bad person. You did not know, you did not participate, but you're still part of it. And to have an explanation for everyone that works within show business, all of us are going to have to go to the podium and be like, well, yeah, I worked with him. I didn't fucking know him.
Right.
But some people say with Jay, Aaliyah was hanging out with them, dating Dame. Dame has been vocal that Aaliyah explained the situation. So that's also where people are like, all right, if you knew that, why would you work with him? But I don't know. There could be more to the story. I don't know.
Right. Either way, it's unfortunate again to see, somebody like Jay have to go through this, and we're just gonna have to sit back and watch this play out over the next few months.
And yet, listen, this is not Hove bias here. Let it go to court.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's true, but if it's true, fuck him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, but in his response, he's on that side. Let it go to court. Again, this could have been stepped on, and we never would have. His name would have never been involved in any of this. They could have stepped on this months ago, settled out, and we would have never gotten any of this. But the fact that him and his team was like, no, we're not settling nothing. Let them. That speaks to when you know exactly who you are. Like, oh, this is what y'all think I've done in my life. Okay, all right. Well, let's go to court and let's let the evidence put everything on the desk and show me where you think that I did that at.
Tony Busby put out a statement following Jay's statement regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my clients. Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is that my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation.
Can you stop real quick, Julian?
Yeah.
I read this last night and was confused. And again, I don't know lawyer jargon. Is a lawyer calling his own client an alleged victim?
Well, you always say alleged victim.
No, a good lawyer gets in front and says, my client was abused. That person is guilty. I've never heard a lawyer, unless they were on the side of the person getting accused of something. This is all allegations. This isn't true. But a lawyer that is defending a victim would never say, and I could be reading this wrong because I'm stupid. And I'm sure in the comments they'll show how stupid I am. But I read that as, why is a lawyer saying
Alleged?
Yeah, that's crazy for your defense to say alleged. But go ahead, Julian. I'm sorry.
That's a fair point. It's funny you say that because there was a clip going around about Busby talking about the Diddy case in particular.
He's been around for a couple of the ones that were filed.
And openly saying some of the stuff is not substantiated. He's just, sometimes you just go with stuff even before it becomes a fact.
He's filed a bunch.
Openly saying that.
And Puff's lawyer replied to this too. We don't need to read that. But to Maul's point, what sucks is Puff's lawyer is right, maybe, in that response, because this is probably bullshit. And then it has people looking like, oh, well, if that case, man, maybe some of this other Puff shit isn't true. Like, it takes away from actual victims.
And maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
Because that woman originally filed against Puff for the rape, and that could very well be true. And then later they added in that Jay was right there too. But it takes away from this entire thing, because if Hove takes this all the way and it's clear that he is not guilty, I think that has people questioning, wrongfully so, a lot of the Puff shit, which is like crazy.
That's what he spoke to. There's real victims. There's people that really, this is their life. They really dealt with shit like this. So for somebody to be trying to put these claims on you just for a money grab, or, just to, assassinate my character publicly, it's a slap in the face to, women that live with this type of pain and trauma. And to see that, people that just pop out and have these, what they call egregious claims, it kind of fucks up all of those other cases. Because now you start questioning everything. You start saying, "Oh, we've seen this before. Somebody said this, and come to find out they were lying and they were just trying to do this and do." So it's all around. It's just it's a real fucked up situation. But I like the fact that Jay and his team, they like, okay, well, we're not gonna just cash out and try to resolve this quietly. No. Let's make this public, and let me show you again, like he said, let me show you exactly how different I am. So
Yeah.
Which I thought would be a great name for his next album, but it's attached to something that's fucked up.
yeah, no, I mean, but
Let me show you